Hello Leo, this is Luke Vulgarakis from LV Life and welcome to your tarot for 2024. Now if you are a Leo sun, moon or rising, then this video is for you. Now I'm going to be doing 3 cards to represent your transition from 23 to 24, 12 cards to represent each month of the year for 24, and then 3 further cards to summarize. So let's see what we've got for you, Leo. Okay, we'll start with the first 3. We begin here with the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess came out in reverse. We'll talk about that part in a moment. Has your year been about finding a more feminine balance in your life? Perhaps you've been too much in the masculine and you've had to really start to flip that into feminine energy. I'm not talking about male or female. I'm talking about masculine and feminine energy, which we are all a balance of. The darkness and the light are represented here, this masculine or feminine energy are represented here in the pillars. So the darkness would be the feminine energy, where you are more introspective, more perceptive, intuitive, in tune, connected. And then on the lighter side, we would have the masculine energy, which would be more active, more headstrong, more forward thinking, forward focused. So that would be that more sun energy. So you can see here that we actually have the moon or the moon crest here at the bottom. So it's really about, the world is a very masculine place, and perhaps you've been looking at the feminine in 2023 or trying to really connect with that a little bit more. And the reason that I focused on that is because the next card that's come out is the Empress, which is the divine feminine. So this divine feminine energy that we have here, you can see that she kind of sits here on her kind of self-made throne with her scepter and her crown, and this, the lovely female symbol down here on this heart-shaped rock. So it's all very much about reconnecting with the feminine. This was in reverse. So again, I think that earlier in the year, you probably started too headstrong in the masculine energy, too much go in the now, or even in the future, but not taking time for the softness of life. So perhaps that's been a lesson for you in 23. And then as we move over here, we have the Queen of Wands, which is also in reverse. So the Queen of Wands, if I can just loosely give you a description of kings and queens, traditionally speaking, a king will inherit a throne through a birthright, but a queen will earn the throne through bearing the king's children, marrying the king, learning royal etiquette. So this is very much about finding your throne, but through a place of work, but inner work, because this reverse represents the real inner work. So again, it's all this feminine energy, all of this internal exploration, discovery, accessing our intuition. And I think that perhaps has been a theme for you for 23 and relevant for 24. So let's draw these cards, one for each month, and see how this all connects together. That's January come out. February. March. April. May. June. July. August. Oops. September. October. November. December. Right, let's put all those away. Tidy them up. Okay, we start January, with the moon. Again, this feminine, the moon, the feminine energy. But in the moon card, you can see the transition between one tower to the other. And so if you know the tower card in the tarot, it's when things come crashing down, and then you have to rebuild up to your new tower. You have to take that journey between one tower to the other. So what we see here is in between, we've got the flames coming down from the sun, that masculine energy, the moon shining down upon it, kind of observing, almost judging a little bit, it looks like. And then like these rabid dogs and the lobster in between. It's all quite messy. So our transition between one tower to the other is always a little bit messy. It's never, no life is straightforward, is it? Not all plain sailing. But in this reverse position, it's more about the emotional journey that you've been taking to get from that old tower to your new tower. So I just feel like January might be a bit of an emotional month for you. A lot of emotional processing and turmoil to go through, but nothing physical. Not no physical challenges or barriers getting in your way, but just perhaps reflecting upon stuff and just really accessing that more feminine emotional side of yourself, and allowing whatever comes up to come up, to feel what you feel and to start processing it like that. Perhaps you've been suppressing for a while, so there's some need for some emotions to come out in January. And then we've got February, and we've got the Page of Wands. I love the page, always in a fabulous mini dress. The page I kind of describe as the intern. It's the beginning of the royal, so you get the page, the knight, the queen, the king. And I just think that the page is like new, fresh, optimistic, got good ideas and good intentions. And so I think that some of that emotional processing that you've been doing in January is leading you to some clarity for February. It's like a clarity of what you actually want to create in your life, what you want to manifest into your life. And I think you have to go through that a bit of emotional journey to get that clarity. And then you can start actually trying to bring it into fruition. So I think February is a real action month for bringing those things that you want into fruition. But right now, you might not quite know what that is. And you need to go through that emotional journey to get there. And then in March, we get the Five of Swords. Five can be a little bit disruptive, a cheeky five. And swords can represent battles or challenges. I think that what this is saying for you is that as you start really stepping into what you want to create for yourself, you might face a couple of hurdles, but it's okay, right? These hurdles are here to teach you. And the way that they teach you is by knowing how to pick and choose those battles. Which hurdles are worth you fighting to get over, and which hurdles do you just need to sidestep and go around? And that's what this is about. Like, there are a couple of battles here that are lost. Some people are a bit wounded in the background. This guy's not going to chase after them to continue to try and win that battle. It's just like, no, I'm taking these, I've got what I've got, and I'm off skis. So it's very much about learning to pick and choose your battles, knowing which hurdles are worth fighting to get over and which hurdles need to just take a wide berth. It's going to be an important lesson for you in March. And then when we get to April, we've got in reverse, the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups really is very contemplative. It's reflective, but it's also an opportunity to realign So in reverse, I'm thinking it's emotional again, but not in the sense of how the moon was in January, where you're kind of actively processing emotions. But I think it's more about you then reflecting upon some of that time, some of those emotions, some of the stuff that, if you've got a few hurdles to deal with in March, then perhaps some of the emotional stuff that you released in January, you can connect the dots between the two and realize how you've grown. It's time for recognition of your growth, and realize that, had you not gone through that emotional stuff, you might have tried to fight all the battles in March, but you haven't. You've grown, you've matured. And it's really about getting your emotional cups in a line, like which are the cups that are worth pouring your energy into, and really focusing on those. And then, as if by magic, the universe kind of brings in this gift for you in this other cup. And I feel that might be some kind of emotional revelation or like light bulb moment for you in April. Um, so yeah, I think that's, your kind of late winter, early spring is really looking fruitful in terms of personal growth. It's good. And then when we move in May, we've got this page of pentacles, another page. So you've had the page of wands, kind of figuring out what you want to do. Page of pentacles is like, oh, I'm doing it. It's like the intern that got the job. It's very much about it starting to pay off as well, like financially or physically. Yeah, really actually starting to properly happen, and properly feel like you're worthy of being in that place. So I guess the February is knowing what it is that you want, other than the May is like they're actually getting it. So that's quite exciting. And then in June, we've got the Queen of Swords. We've got lots of royals going on. And I think we talked earlier, actually, I don't know if it was in this reading or another one, the difference between a king and a queen. So yeah, this is about really having earned your throne in terms of the challenges and battles that you've been on, recently or within your life. They've led to something. So I think as you start doing the thing, you're going to start realizing that you're going to become a bit of an authority over it, because you've got the life experience that lends itself to you being an authority rather than just someone doing the thing. So I feel like there's an opportunity to really step up a notch in June and really start rising above all of the self-doubt or the drama or the people that don't believe in you or your history, but just rising above it and saying, well, I've really earned this place and I'm going to do something with this authority. And then we move on to July, which is the Queen of Cups, more queens. And this is almost like a little bit of a change of terrain. So here you can see you're dipping your toes into the water here. So this is around relationships, and relationships doesn't have to mean romantic. It can be, friends, family, colleagues, whatever. But I feel like you're starting to master yourself in the sense of having really earned that throne. And then people are going to start to really recognize you for your power now. Really recognize it. And that might offer you opportunities to dip your toes in to try. I feel like you're being offered opportunities in July, but from a place of really earned, worthy, deservingness rather than sheer fluke or having inherited a throne. This is very much about you've worked for it and now it's kind of all starting to pay off. So interesting summer. August, Ace of Cups sitting right below that Four of Cups. Both of these have a hand in a cloud delivering you a cup. I don't know if you believe as I do, but I believe that we all live many lives and we put a few things on our timeline in each of our lives. And sometimes they're just sitting there waiting for the universe to drop them in when we're ready. I feel like you're ready. You know the cliche, you can't pour from an empty cup. This is your cup overflowing. Like, this is the universe delivering you exactly who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing with the people that you're supposed to be doing at the right time. And you're so good that you can then spread that joy, that love, that wisdom with other people. You can start really making an impact on the world with this. But the universe is waiting to deliver that opportunity to you. So this is all opportunity, I would say. Everything in your summer is opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. You've got some good stuff happening this summer. And then when we move to September, you get this Three of Wands. And this is like a blank canvas opportunity. This is stepping into something new. I feel like there's a learning opportunity here, something to learn something new, a new talent, a new skill, whether that's physical study or self-discovery or spiritual study or a course, I don't know. But there's definitely, like, you see this kind of blank plane in the background and these three wands about manifestation. Um, and you're just literally able to step out into this plane and create and do and be whatever it is that you want to be. So, yeah, I think that all of these opportunities are leading you to a new course, like a bit of course correction, but in a really healthy, welcomed way. Not like the tower course correction where it all comes tumbling down and we have to start again, but like you're really ready for something new. September also, actually, academically, is a great time for new starts, right? And learning something new. So maybe it is more of a physical thing. And in October, we've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. This is really sorting out your head, right? I think you're doing so well at this point that you've got to get your head in alignment with your physicality. Physically in the world, things are wonderful. Your head needs to be in alignment with that too. And this is very much about that phrase that I love banging on about all the time. Tell a negative committee that meets inside your head to sit down and shut up. So it's organising that committee in your mind, being really strong in your mind. I don't think it's a lot of work. This isn't a card that's showing me you've got do a lot of work towards that. I think it's just an awareness of I'm really strong in mind, just as I'm as strong in my body and in my physical world right now. So it's a real strength card. It's just a little, reminder to recognize that in yourself. Your body and your mind need to be as strong as each other. And then in November, the Knight of Swords. This is reversed. This is like someone charging into battle here in reversed, and it sits below the Five of Swords that we had earlier. That kind of picking and choosing your battles. Don't rush in. Fools rush in is the phrase that comes to mind. If you're presented with something in November or situation crops up that you want to fight or battle for, do not rush in all guns blazing. Proceed with caution. You want to absolutely be more considerate, more reserved, more restrained in November. Because you may have a tendency, particularly being a fire sign, to rush in. You don't need to do that this time, right? Take a step back in November. Be a bit more considerate with your actions or reactions. And then in December, we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man hasn't been hung, he's hung himself by his ankle. He's doing it to get this change of perspective, this change of mindset. If you see, he's reversed his thinking, he's reversed his view on the world so that he can see things a bit differently. This is in its reverse position. I don't know, well, I do know because you're a Leo. You could be a bit stubborn in your ways, or a bit stubborn in your mindsets or your thoughts. You need to loosen up a bit. I think that this is really related to that Knight of Swords in November. Your usual habits of being headstrong, of running into things, of fighting the good fight, of trying to win or make a point, or you know, whatever, all of these kind of egotistical led behaviors or beliefs. It's time to be more, practice more restraint in the winter, in November, December. Hold back, gain different perspectives, try and reverse your thinking. Try and be a bit softer than you normally would be. I mean, you're a Leo, you're meant to be who you're meant to be, but sometimes it's good to dial it back a notch just for temporarily, right? So I feel like this is a temporarily dialing it back a notch. So yeah, just being a bit mindful as we proceed into our next winter. So let's do an overview with 3 more cards. This is a proper year of opportunity for you. The Wheel of Fortune just came out, and the Magician, and the Knight of Wands. Gosh, have you got all the knights? No, that's a total lie. You've got 2 knights and 2 queens, 3 queens. Gosh, 2 pages. Wow. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune. You're being presented with lots of opportunities, and you have to gamble on them. Some of the things that you win on the Wheel of Fortune are lovely and gold and wonderful, and other things are like devils and snakes. So in reverse position, it's asking you to really use your intuition, to really make decisions from your internal space, not your external space. If you're being presented with opportunities, which you are, this is a year of opportunity. Don't use your head to make those decisions. Use your intuition. That's what all of this, this is exactly how we round it off with your 23 to 24 transition, which was all about looking into the femininity, the intuitiveness, the perception, the connection, the looking inwards, the darkness. Use all of that to make your decisions this year for your opportunities. When you spin that Wheel of Fortune, do not make a decision from your head. Make it from an internal place. Use that feminine energy. You get a pros and cons list, or you go and ask other people for advice, is stuffed. You have to do it intuitively, internally, using that feminine energy. That's why that was so important at the beginning. Then we've got the Magician. Like, all the opportunities are waiting for you, right? But it's in reverse. So that means that all the opportunities and all the things that you are trying to create in your world are coming from a place internally, not a place externally. So again, stop looking externally. You're creating your world from the inside out this year. That's what's important. Everything from the inside out. Not always. I don't always buy into we have to work from the inside out all the time. I just think for this year, you do, right? All this internal decision making this year, that's going to bring you all the things that you want. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. Again, Wands, manifestation, creation. With this one, you can see that they're in armor, but they've got this lovely kind of fabric cloaked over the top. So this is saying, when you proceed with stuff, still do it with a sense of armor. Right? It's okay to we talk about armor like it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing. We'd be totally naive if we didn't learn our lessons and build our armor. It's good to have armor, but you can put a fabulous cloak over it and do it looking wonderfully. But use your wisdom, knowledge, and lessons of the past to inform the things that you kind of proceed with in 2024. So still have that armor on, but look good doing it, right? I hope that makes sense. Like everything that you're doing this year needs to come from your inside, from the internal intuition. When you're that's the decision making. When you're physically doing it, it's okay to have a little bit of armor. Okay to proceed with caution and to not rush in and to um, kind of have your wits about you, but make the decisions from inside, not outside. All right, I hope that resonated. Please do let me know in the comments and let me know throughout the year because I love to know what's going on with people. So I really do appreciate everything that, any feedback you can give me is wonderful. If you'd like this as a private reading, I can do that for you either online or physically in my Wellbeing Centre in Fareham. And I'm doing it for £24 in 2024 for this reading. So I can do that for you, or you can also join me on the 4th of February in my Wellbeing Centre, where I'm hosting a day-long tarot workshop to learn tarot in the way that I do it, which is intuitively and through storytelling rather than through specific placements and meanings in textbook. So yeah, if you resonate with that and you'd like to join me, I'll pop my information in the description of this video in the comments. And I very much look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful year, Leo. Bye bye.